So first of all, when we were taping, right, there was a period where, like, one of the moments where we were taping, I sat down with a producer, and he asked me like 100 questions. It felt like 100 questions. It felt like we were sitting there for like 2 hours, you know? And he would just ask me a question. One of the questions he asked was, why was it important for us to be successful, right? Really, actually, he was more specific. Why was it important for me to be successful, right? And I told him the reason why I felt like it was so important for us to be successful was because it would create a pathway for the next human of color, the next Black woman, right, to be able, it creates the pathway for their success, right? Reason for that is because we know what it's even more abysmal now than it was then, right? What access to capital looks like. And access to capital happens when there are examples, right? When there are comps, when there are people that have done what you're doing that you can compare yourself to, right? Part of why there is such gaps in when it comes to funding, there's a lot of reasons why today, which I don't want to go into the politics of it because I don't need nobody tracking me down from that from the other side of the tracks, but you know, but there's not a lot of us that have been able to be successful, right?
Agreed.
It's a small amount of us, right? And so when you go out to raise money, just off before you've even walked into the door, before you even done your pitch, you're already a risk,
right?
So then how that relates to today, right? What happened during COVID when everything was all Black everything, right? We all knew that there was going to be an expiration to that.
Yes, we did.
Right?
They were like, get it while you can, because...
Get it while you can. But the way that was set up, right? It was beautiful and it was hard because it made it where almost anybody could get funding.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually really dope. But then if we all got that access and a good amount of us didn't succeed,
which is statistically what it is across all genres of people. Yeah.
Amen. Right? Because that's how it's going to happen anyway. There's always going to be a lot of capital.
Everybody is not going to... People really rely on, when you invest, there's going to be a couple of unicorns that do really well.
Boom. Yeah. Right? But now that can be looked at as an excuse. Well, you know, well, this happened during that period and only so many was able to be successful. We all know that that's just the way that it is. And I bet you it's like a domino. Like if you took one out, it's going to mess up. It's going to mess up the flow of how this thing went. All things are in order all the time, whether we understand it or don't. You know,